apology, I am a benefit boy.
Oh.
A night auditor in a hotel. I became a senior manager in the bank. Why do we go to work? If anything else can pay my bill and I am happier, means I can go ahead and go do that thing. Seeing us delivered to hospitals. I always say I'm not a businessman. I don't. People order from their homes. We will not sell anything here that we cannot eat in our house. I feed my kids from the food that's made in the kitchen. I want to sell. Are you buying?
And welcome to another edition of Black Scottish Stories. Here we share real stories of real people, of Black immigrants living in Scotland. Today we have, how will I even introduce this man? This man is an IT professional, turned chef, kitchen potter, entrepreneur. Can you just imagine that? Please, let's welcome Mr. John Uwagboe. Did I get it, please?
You got it right. Thank you.
Welcome to this couch of Black Scottish Stories. I'm borrowing this couch from. I'm borrowing this couch from his kitchen and grill. Welcome, sir. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm happy that you're here to do this. Mr. John, who are you? When they ask you, who is Mr. John, what do you want to hear people say that you are?
I think when people think of John, I want them to first think of somebody who is passionate about seeing other people succeed. I want them to think of me as somebody who is a proud Nigerian and wants to almost change the narrative of Nigerian stories, especially here in the UK, in the diaspora, whereby most of the time when Nigerians are called upon, when the press or the news carries our story, it talks about it negatively. I want them to think of me as somebody who wants to change that narrative and wants to see that the positive sides or the positive stories of Nigerians are aired alongside to let other people know that we're also really good people. We are people of culture, we're people of faith, we're people that want to contribute to whatever the society is all about. Yeah.
That's good. I remember you said that when we want to talk about it, we should call you church boy.
I'm a church boy.
Without any apology.
Without apology, I am a benefit boy.
Oh.
Yes.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Thank you.
So, I'm just thinking, you moved from IT.
Yes.
Into entrepreneurship, or how did you even start Uwagboe's Kitchen and Grill?
Okay, all right. So I not necessarily moved from IT. I moved from banking. Yes.
There's so much to. It's like we are peeling onions, layer by layer by layer. I'll be cabbage. Which one? Layer by layer.
I think it will be the sweet cabbage.
Okay, the sweet cabbage.
Yeah,
okay.
but onion will make you cry.
I
don't want anybody crying.
Okay, let's stick with cabbage.
Yeah,
please.
Let's stick with cabbage. Well, I think I came into the UK in 2008, and I came to study as many Nigerians would do. So I did a master's at University of St. Andrews, and then I moved into Edinburgh after my studies, and ended up doing a number of jobs. Right. So I started off, I was a doorman.
Wow.
I was a night auditor in a hotel, whereby I would clean, audit the account, make late night food, take bookings all through the night.
Like
literally everything from 10 till 7 a.m. I was wearing multiple hats. And then luckily I then broke through and got my first role in the bank as a customer service advisor. And so from there, I grew through the ranks. I became a senior manager in the bank within 12 years, almost 12 years journey with one of the very big banks in the UK, which is, I was quite fortunate. I landed a role in between when my visa was meant to expire, and then they sponsored me. Yeah, so, and for that, I'm really grateful to the mentors, the managers that helped me through my journeys within the bank. But yeah, I got to the point where as a senior manager that was already interviewing for head of function roles and building functions, which was my last role, I got to the point where it became really political, and it almost felt like I had a glass ceiling over my.
You're not going to crash, not break it.
Break through. It was just one promise to the other after one interview or several interviews. So I started asking myself this question: why do we wake up in the morning? Why do we go to work? And every time I quizzed myself, the answer always came down back to pay bills. Right? Or because we've got financial commitments and all that.
Survival at best.
And so for me, I then went further and said, so if anything else can pay my bill and I am happier, that means I can go ahead and go do that thing. And growing up in Nigeria, there was two things I always wanted. I always wanted to work in a bank, and I always wanted to own a joint. Right? So because of the environment where we grew up in, places like these were referred to as joint back in the days.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Benin.
In Benin?
Yes.
I wanted to be sure. Because when you said places like this are referred to as joints, I was like, I want to confirm instead of assuming Benin.
So it was just, at that point, I went back to that childhood dream of, I actually want to own a joint. Obviously, it's not called a joint here. It would be a restaurant or a bar,
pub.
A pub, all that kind of thing. But I knew that Nigerians don't go to pub, and again there was the opportunity within Edinburgh because Edinburgh lacked having a restaurant.
An African, is it Nigerian or African?
Well, I would say Nigerian because there's an Ethiopian restaurant. So I won't really generalize by saying African.
Sure.
And I think at the time when we were looking to open, there was also a South African restaurant. So but there was no Nigerian representation. And so for me, it was we needed to come in or step in and do the needful. So my wife and I, my wife is she's a scientist. She works for pharmaceutical companies where they test and produce drugs, medication. We decided we were going to do this, and as crazy as we were, we could not have picked the better time. We picked lockdown.
Wow.
During COVID.
I don't understand. Wait, you decided to open a social place during lockdown.
Yes.
Please tell me how that works. That sounds very interesting. How did it work?
Well,
because I'm remembering in Nigeria where some people were having house parties in secret because they were tired of being stuck in the house. So how did you?
And for us, it was stricter in the UK because the first places they closed down were restaurants.
Yes.
So we could not go ahead with the plan. But luckily, even though the restaurants, pubs, and all of those places were closed, takeaways were allowed to operate.
I see.
So we went from, following the dream of doing a restaurant to opening the first takeaway. So this is not like a Nigerian restaurant that does takeaway. We specifically opened the takeaway.
Wow.
And where I've never seen that sort of idea from anywhere where.
So it's safe to say that idea was innovative at that time.
It was innovative because it was something that was born out of, the lockdown experience. People were at home. They were either tired of eating their own food, or some people could not cook. They just wanted food to heal them, and all of those plenty things. So
it could have even been a mental choice anyway.
And that's interesting you say that, because we were doing deliveries, and I was one of the delivery drivers at the time, and I think one of the things that I'm so grateful for during COVID was seeing us deliver to hospitals. And there was one experience where I delivered the food to a mental home. And there was this black person, and I could just see the joy in the patient's face when I stepped in with the food, and they were like, I just need this. And I stepped back into my car driving back to the takeaway, and I was like, I just thank you, God, for this opportunity.
That's making impact.
That's the thing.
And that's the beauty. When you're doing something you love, a business that you love, and then you see it touching people's lives. Indeed. There's something it does to you.
It does more than what money can do.
Yes.
And also,
it is indescribable.
Genuinely, for us as well, was because it was new. I had a lot of friends supporting us. We had a lot of people coming in. There was one point where we had 7 people doing deliveries for us. Our friends will finish work at 4, join us, and we opened the opportunity for people to order the food from everywhere. People could order from as far as Musselburgh.
Wow.
From outside airports, Queen's Ferry, Dunfermline area.
Wow.
We were just delivering everywhere. Imagine delivering to like Queen's Ferry and order £20, and they paid £5 for delivery. And you're driving 7 miles. My friends, most of them that were, my friends that were helping were, man, why are you doing this? This is nonsense. It's not sustainable. I said, look, guys, I know what I'm doing. For me, I wanted people from far and near to try the food because I knew the food was good. And I knew that because it was locked down, these people will be having conversations with other people. And so the word will spread faster.
Word of mouth.
And, I was sowing those seeds, irrespective of whether we were making money or not, because I would then sometimes take the £20, add to the £5 to pay that person because they've gone that far.
Wow.
But it didn't matter to me. I just wanted everybody to eat the food because I knew that they would come back, and I wanted it to be sustainable. Because if we don't sort of do that to help sustain us, we won't be here 4 years after.
This is such an amazing story, because I'm feeling the beauty of what you've done, and the entrepreneurship spirit. Like, where do you think you got that from?
I don't know. I've never sold anything before. I always say I'm not a businessman. I don't know why. I don't know. I genuinely just wanted to meet a need in Edinburgh.
And that's beautiful. It means that you saw the need, you took, and you did not allow money be the motivation.
No.
And now Uwagboe is on everybody's mouth. Like, I know I for one can't come to Edinburgh and not stay here.
Thank you.
I can't. I've eaten your food several times, and the level of excellence hasn't changed. So if you are in Edinburgh, please, Uwagboe is the best place to be.
Free.
Don't miss it.
Yes.
This is free advert.
Free. You know, on Black Scottish Stories.
Yes, so it's free.
That's to use the opportunity to tell one or two people.
Yes. So, you said you started this with your wife.
Yes.
And there was no. How did you people come together? Like, did she agree immediately, or was it her idea or your own idea?
That's a really good question. I wish I could really, really remember. But I know that there was a few persuasion that we had to do. The interesting thing for me was the timing. It wasn't just COVID. It wasn't about just lockdown. We had just had a baby.
Wow.
Like, my wife was still breastfeeding. And I wish she could tell this story herself.
I think we are going to come back. No. We are going to come back here. The three of us, I'll be in the middle. Not that I'm supporting you, but so that I can be turning on asking you questions.
Because genuinely...
No, I really need to be... Because, wow, women... Please, I'm sorry, I'm unapologetically feminist. Women are strong.
Yes.
Can you imagine someone who was breastfeeding? She just had a baby.
Yes.
And then she was supporting her husband to start a business.
Our baby
and not just
6
any
months, like just 6 months.
Not just any kind of business, so a business that involved cooking.
Yes. And she was the one cooking. She was the only chef we had at the time.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Mrs. Uwagboe. Let's give it up.
This is the point where I tell you openly, once again, as I always say at home, thank you. You've been my advantage from day one. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
This so sweet.
It's a part of my Black Scottish story. Yeah, but yes.
I wish you were here, to be honest.
I'm grateful for her genuinely because she supported this dream. I remember there were days where she would ask me, "Are you sure about this thing? Like, why don't we invest our money in properties? Like, these are appreciating assets. Like, you would get money from tenant, or the property would appreciate in price. But this sort of one, we're having to labor, and sometimes not even see the profit. Like, why are we doing this?" But I kept saying to her, and I still remind her every time. I said, "Look, we're doing this not just for the money, but we're making a real impact." I see it every time. For example, there was somebody who wrote, this was last week, and the guy ordered food from us, and he wrote that, "Please, I'm in the hospital." They would be angry with me that if they see the receipt, can you not put the receipt? But and I don't know what the person's real story is, but it's just the fact that people can be wherever they are and order food that they really want.
The brand.
Yes. And that they really want. And for me, that's the big deal. It's I keep saying it to people, but I know money will come, right? It will eventually. But it's the fact that we're making so much impact. Somebody else called me yesterday and said, "Oh, I just ordered on Deliverable. Bro, I'm at work. Add this and add that." It's like people order from their homes. They order when they're at work. They order on the go. There's somebody who comes all the way from Falkirk. She orders for this food to be delivered to her in the train station so that she can jump on the next train.
To go back to Falkirk.
These sort of things are the things that, it gives us that confidence that we're definitely doing something right, and sort of makes it worth it for us.
Sure. I'll make a confession. So last year we're going on a family trip to Albania, and we were in an hotel near the airport in Edinburgh, and we're hungry. And my husband said, "I want African food." I said, "Please, let's order Uwagboe's." It came right on time,
Oh.
and it was still hot. We didn't need to look for where to warm or anything.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're in the hotel, so we might not have gotten a place to warm the
Access to
food.
that, yeah.
So we got to that. It was still hot. It was piping hot. My husband ordered swallow.
Yeah.
Then I think it was pounded yam he ordered. He ate it and he was like, this is Asiramato.
Yeah.
And by home we mean Nigeria.
Yeah. And for us, it's really important. I think one of the difference between what we do, and I say this with all sense of responsibility, is we will not sell anything here that we cannot eat in our house. It's the house standard.
Wow.
This is not just because
like just homemade.
Yeah, it needs to be because I feed my kids from the food that's made in the kitchen. If they come in here now, they will eat without any special thing being done to the food. Same standard.
Same standard.
You know?
No cutting corners,
nothing. Yeah.
Anyway, it's food. You have to make sure that the standard is very high, you know. Okay, so I'm thinking you had your wife's backing, which is quite important.
Very.
But has there been any time in the 4 years that Uwagboe has existed, has there been any time you've thought of quitting? Maybe because of challenges or anything?
Yes.
When? Tell us about it.
There's been a few times.
Wow. Despite the fact that you had your wife's back.
Yes, a few times. I remember calling one of my best friends once, Obas, and I hope he gets to see this. I remember the day I called him and I said, look, man, I'm tired of this thing. I want to sell. Are you buying?
Ooh.
And he was like, never. He said, you're strong past me. If you cannot do it, I will never do it. You know, and we kind of just joked about it and you know, laughed it off. And, you know, I mean, I've had those days where I've doubted the process, you know. But one thing I have never, ever doubted, genuinely, is that God's hand is on this business. I've never doubted that fact. And it's a fact, it's a reality, it's something I live in. It's, you know, it is my reality. I've never doubted that. So even on the days where I am weary or been knocked down by challenges, I still go back and encourage myself in the fact that God told me to do this. So in my time in the bank, right, I wanted to sort of progress. I got to a point where it was almost like a glass wall, and every door I was knocking wasn't opening and stuff. And this was me trying to go from a manager to a senior manager. And I remember I read something. Two things changed that situation for me. Number one, I read something that said, what got you here is not enough to get you there. So you need to do more between here and there.
You're not well equipped yet for the place you want to go.
So you almost need to sort of work on your capabilities and skills and all of those good stuff. So that one was one of those things. And in doing all of that, I realized that I needed a mentor. So I sought for a mentor. Wonderful, wonderful lady, Tracy Ray. If you ever get to see this, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being such an amazing mentor and for helping me through my journey. So she said, go and write down 10 of the values. And, you know, as with everything now, you go on Google and say values and try and see what does value mean and all of that. And I wrote down, I remember writing them, and on one of them, I made sure I put faith in it. It wasn't number one, by the way. Yeah. So I brought this list to her.
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
what was your number one?
I can't remember. No, on the list.
Yes.
Right? But this is where the story is going. This is the twist. So I got to her with this 10 list. I can't remember what, there was like integrity, honesty, all of those good keywords.
Just to
that
make it sound nice.
So we got there and she asked me, she said, she looked at it and she was like, all right, okay, I see what you've done, I see what you've written. And she said, of all of these 10, which would you think is the greatest of that point? I said, I will never be ashamed anymore to first of all let you know that I'm a man of faith.
Wow.
I don't care how you feel about it, but I will never, ever take that away from who John Uwagboe is.
This is such a beautiful story. But I want to just ask a question. You've been here for close to 20 years, yeah?
17.
17. Yeah, so 3 years to 20. From when you came, the atmosphere when you came, and now, for Black immigrants, what would you say has changed? What has changed for good? What has changed for worse?
Okay. A lot has changed. Like I said in one of the interviews I had with the economist, when I came 17 years ago, if you see before you see a black person, you would at least go out for a good 2 weeks before you randomly run into another black person. Not Nigerian. This is not even just another black person, especially in Edinburgh.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they're mostly in the south, down south, in London.
Yeah. So for us here in Edinburgh and in Scotland, that has changed. We now sort of reside amongst ourselves or our like, right? So it's not a thing of, you won't find another black person that is either going through the same challenges you're going to, for you to have support or for you to ask questions. How dare us have a restaurant in Edinburgh 17 years ago?
Wow.
Like, there was hardly 5 people.
So what are you opening a restaurant for?
So like it didn't make any sense, right? So for me, I think all of those are the sort of quick things you can point to say, look, these have changed. The times have changed. People, Edinburgh have always welcomed us as black people, or Scotland. The average Scottish person is a very nice person. They're not total racist, like you will find in certain parts of the UK where, you walk by and somebody's telling you go back to your country or whatever, right? So for us to now have a lot of us here now, whereby, we can bounce ideas off each other, we can even have opportunities to even compete in business now, or we can have people sort of saying, oh, I'm doing what you're doing. These things didn't happen before. So I think all of those things are good. What we should watch as we become so many, as we continue to grow, is we should not forget to support each other.
Sure.
We should find those opportunities to lift ourselves up, because like I always say to people, if we're both sitting on this chair now, if somebody's pushing this chair, we'll go at the same pace.
Yes.
We'll get there together.
Sure.
So it's not, and we should not think about it as, oh, I want to get there, I don't think she should come along. We should,
how to get there first.
Yeah, even if there's still space, like there's still space on this chair, we should invite others to join us and for us to grow together. I genuinely, I wish for a Scotland where we would have great representation of black people at high places, in corporate world, in business,
in
politics as well. There's nothing stopping us from, having those sort of roles. Yeah. So yes, so, as we continue to grow,
yes, we'll have all those, of that. Yes. So this last question,
okay,
just before we go, would you consider getting into the Scottish politics?
I have done politics whilst as a student.
What's that in the
Student Union Government, Victoria Center. So I think politics is beautiful. I've always loved politics. I think if I have the opportunity for it, I would not say no
to it.
Genuinely, because I think one of the things I think my life is about service and about making sure we're making impact for others.
Yeah. One word that kept on coming up all the time during the interview was impact. So maybe as we end this interview, maybe we'll be hearing in the nearest future that John Uwagboe has become an MSP here in Scotland. And that is now the end of today's episode of Black Scottish Stories. Please join us on another one. So we just have something small for you.
Oh, thank you very much
for wanting to be here and sharing your story. It's just a bunch of souvenirs for Black Scottish Stories. We want you to take it round and tell people that there's a show.
Yes.
There's a show that is sharing positive stories of Black immigrants living in Scotland.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Uwagboe, and I have just been interviewed by the Black Scottish Stories, and I'm grateful for this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.